Hello everyone, welcome to our Empty Cloud Monastery Wednesday Dhamma Talk, and today I will continue my Dhammapada teachings. So far we have taught four Vaggas, four chapters of Dhammapada, and today is the Bala Vagga, the fools. It will be interesting. So as we have done before, I would like to start with the chanting first. Let's chant. First, we'll pay respect to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened one. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Dhammapada Balavagga. Digha jagarato rati dighang santassa yojanang Digho balanang sangsaro saddhang mang avijanatang charang chenadhigaccheya seyang sadisamatano ekachariyang dalhang kaira nathi bale sahayata Putta matthe dhanang matthe iti balo vihanyati attahi attano natthe kuto putta kuto dhanang yo balo manyati balyang pandito apitena so balo cha panditamani Save baloti uccati Yava jivang piche balo Panditang pairupasati Naso dhammang vijanati Dabbi suparasang yatha Muhuttang piche vinyo Panditang pairupasati Khippang dhammang vijanati Jivha suparasang yatha Charang tibala dummedha Amitteneva attana Karongta papakang kangmang Yang hoti katu kappalang Natang kangmang katang sadhu Yang katva anutappati Yassa asu mukorodhang Vipakang patisevati Tang cekang mang katang sadhu yang katva nanu tappati yassa patito sumano vipakang patisevati madhua manyati balo yava papang na paccati yadaca paccati papang Atha balo dukkhang nigacchati Mase mase kusaggena Balo bhunjeya bhojanang Naso sankhata dhammanang Kalang agghati solasing Nahi papang katang kangmang Sajjukhirang mucchati dahang tang balamanveti bhasmachanno pavako Yavadeva anathaya Nyatang balassa jayati Hangti balassa sukhang sang Muddhamassa vipatayang Asatang bhavana michheya Purekharang cha bhikkhusu Avasesu cha isariyang Puja parakulesu cha Mameva katamang nyantu gihi pabbajita ubho Mameva ativasasu kichha kichhesu kismichi iti balassa sankappo icchamano vaddati Anya labhupanisa anya nibbana gamini evametang abhinyaya bhikkhu buddhassa savako sakarang nabhinandeya vivekam bruhayeti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. This resonates in me. My Samaner days, when I was just a little Samaner monk, I learned these stanzas by heart, and we remember how we were reciting louder at the monastic school in different places. It was so wonderful. Like we go back to those beautiful memories. Yes, so Dhammapada always gives so much hope and so much inspiration to us. And the more you read it, the more insightful you become. Every time you read Dhammapada, you learn something new. And so this chapter on fools from the Dhammapada explores 16 beautiful and powerful stanzas. As we already mentioned, Dhammapada, one of the most revered books, texts in Buddhism, is a collection of sayings of the Buddha in verse form. All of them, 423 verses in 26 chapters, are all in verse forms, gathas, we call in Pali. It offers profound insights and guidance for leading a life of virtue and wisdom. So today's Balavagga, which addresses the nature of foolishness and the consequences of unwise actions, it will really feel each and every one of you how powerful these stanzas are all throughout this foolishness that we all have. Let's see how foolish we become and how to get rid of these things. Once you recognize your foolishness, it will be helpful for us. And yeah, I hope this teaching today will be much more helpful to all of you. And especially, it's a little bit longer chapter, 16 gathas. I'm going to talk about certain themes that are very helpful to us as well. And also, um, some of these stanzas are very well known and very popular among the monks when they actually teach, when they give Dhamma talk. Some of these stanzas can be repeatedly heard. So, Bala means fool or ignorant person. So, in this chapter, we can see the understanding of how ignorance manifests in our thoughts and actions. The Buddha's teachings in this chapter emphasize the importance of recognizing and overcoming our own foolishness. foolish tendencies to lead a more enlightened and peaceful life. So, one of the toughest tasks that we have is actually not knowing our foolishness. So, if we know, if we know we have these foolish features within us, it will be really helpful, and especially for monks and also for the lay people, we should know how foolish we have been so far. Let's see. Um, so, as we go through the verses, let us reflect on their meanings and consider how they apply to our own lives. Teachings here are not just about pointing out the flaws in others, but also about introspection and self improvement. So, self investigation, looking into ourselves. It's like vipassana, right? Insight, meditation. By understanding and internalizing these teachings, we can cultivate wisdom and compassion, avoiding the pitfalls of ignorance. I remember, I actually repeat these things also. There are certain things that the Buddha mentioned, like three massive structures in the world. The Buddha mentioned, like um, great earth, and then the great mountain, and the great ocean. Okay, these are three massive structures, massive things in the world. And you can say like the depth of the water, right? The volume of the water in the ocean is so huge. When you fly in the sky, you can see, like when you take the flight, the pilot announces like you are like 35,000 feet above the sea level, right? Actually, that much water is there. That much water is there. If you like take the Mariana Trench, the deepest fathom of the ocean is like 13 kilometers something. So it's similar to that height, that much water. And people could go to the sun and probably not the sun, the moon, and they are also trying to go to the Mars. They are going to trying to uh, explore the other things in the space, but it's so hard to go deep into the water. We saw very recently how they have failed by going to take a deep dive into the water. It's not so easy. What I mean to say here is actually the volume and also the massive structures. These are also, are they permanent? Are they permanent? No. We can also already see some signs of, the water receding, right? I've seen like some places, for example, in California, I think it says like thousands of years before, there was sea already there, and right now no more. So the water will somehow slowly evaporate, and there will be a time that you will not see a sign of water, no trace of that massive water volume. One day or the other, it will happen. Same thing with the Mother Earth. Same thing with all those great Sineru mountain or whatever the greatest mountains ever we have. All of them will be gone once and for all. No sign, no trace, nothing to be found. But the Buddha said it will take like how many years? Millions of years probably, right? And yet these things will be gone, yet our foolishness, our ignorance will stay with us. No mercy, no sympathy. This ignorance will not give you any sympathy. You will be dragged back into the samsara, and the more you are into this samsara, the foolishness will pamper you. You are doing good, it will be kind of pet you. You're doing good, okay, you have a good name, fame, very good. Keep doing it. you know. So all these things like the wealth, the name, the fame, all the things that we have are signs of foolishness. So this is good sign. Let's see. I don't know if you get scared to hear these things, but that's how it is. Let's now begin to explore the Balavagga, keeping our minds open and receptive to the timeless wisdom of the Buddha. May this session be beneficial and inspiring for all of us. Okay, so the first one. Um, for someone who can't sleep, the night feels never ending. For someone who's tired, even a short walk feels like forever. For someone who doesn't understand the true teachings, life and death just keep going on and on. Okay, let's break this down. Um, for someone who can't sleep, the night feels never ending. Have you ever had any of such experience yourself, trying to find, you know, struggling on your bed, trying to find sleep, which is not coming, and also searching for the morning to come up, and it looks so long. The night looks so long. So digha jagrato rati. Have you, yeah, every minute drags on and it feels like morning will never come. That's what it's like for a mind that's restless and uneasy. Today, I think a lot of people, when they can't sleep, what do they do? What do they do? Take the phone, take the phone, and then go to social media, and you can, it will become worse, right? So, for someone who's tired, even a short walk feels like forever. Think about when you are superior, when you are super tired, and you have to walk somewhere, and even a short distance can feel like miles. This line is talking about how tough life can be when we are worn out physically or mentally. So, for someone who doesn't understand true teachings, here the foolish is not about being silly, but about not knowing the Buddha's teachings. It's about missing out on the wisdom that can really change how we live our lives. So again, Buddha's teaching is, it's about something like already in the nature. The Dhamma is already the law of nature, right? It's already there, and Buddha found out and he taught us. So when we don't know that way we will become foolish. Otherwise, you might have like a lot of degrees. It doesn't make you a wise person. Those so-called secular education is not what we talk about the wise people here. That wisdom is not that. And also maybe you know a lot of Dhamma. It's also not about that. But actually, being able to realize it, grasp it, and apply in our day-to-day life. That will be the smart people. That will be the wise people, skillful people. So life and death just keep going on and on. Without understanding the Dhamma, we are stuck in this endless loop of being born, living, and dying over and over. Feels like there is no end to this struggle. So this was Digha Jagrato Rati, Dighang Santasa Yojanang, Digho Balanang Sansaro, Sadhammang Avijanatang. So this stanza talks about um, uh, that without the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings, life can feel pretty tough and endless. But by understanding the Dhamma, we can find peace and break free from that cycle. So we go through today's session. And let's see some more other teachings here. The second stanza, if you are looking for a friend and you can find anyone who's better or at least like you, then what should you do? It's better to walk alone. It's better to walk alone because hanging out with fools isn't worth it. So this is again a very very important teaching. If we are looking for for a friend, we all want good companions in our life, right? We all like friends. We all like someone to share with with our journey with, and also someone who understands us, someone who care for us. Sometimes you want someone to listen to you, and that is part of the friendship company we need. That can't find anyone who's better or at least like you. Sometimes it's hard to find someone who matches our values, our way of thinking, and someone who helps us grow. It might be your teacher, it might be your supervisor, it might be any coworker, elder, some family member, mother, father, anyone could be such a wonderful, good friend. Um, yeah, this is really, really important to know. Um, though it's better to walk alone if you don't have one. It's saying that if we can find a suitable companion, it's actually better to go solo. Being alone isn't bad thing. If the alternative is negative influence, and it is said, Saddhammang avijanato, those people who don't know the Dhamma, it's better not to work with them. I want to also say one thing like, okay, now let's say like all of us think like there are some people who are not worth, and then what should we do? Like, should we leave them behind or we go alone? That's again a very important thing. So, to the fact that you are not being disturbed, you should be powerful enough to also help them. Then it's fine, like because we need to help them too, right? There should be some people who need our company, who need our guidance, who need our help, so we can leave them behind. In that case, we should be able to help them, but to the point that we are not being distracted or not being dragged back into the samsara. That is also very important to remember. Um, so association with people who don't understand or respect your values can lead you astray. It's better to be alone than to be in bad company. Buddha is teaching us here about the importance of good companionship. Sometimes it's better to walk your path alone than to compromise your principles by keeping the wrong company. It's a reminder to choose our friends and companions wisely because they are a big influence in our life. So, I think in Buddhism we have a word called Kalyana Mitta, right? Which means good friend, right? Good friend or noble friend. These are the friends who support us, guide us, and help us grow on our spiritual path. Interestingly, my name is Sumitta. Sumitta also means good friend. Yeah, this concept actually is central to living a fulfilling and harmonious life. Good companionship is essential because it significantly influences our thoughts, our actions, and overall well-being. Buddha emphasized the importance of surrounding ourselves with, in Pali, it is called Sappurisa. Purisa is person, Sappurisa is a good, noble person. Yeah, we need to be surrounded by them. Those who are wise, those who are virtuous, those who are supportive, and I think some places like this, we find always those beautiful people, right? That community here is tremendously supportive and caring. I really see like these are the places where you find those Sappurisa or Kalyanamitta or Sumitta friends. You need to hang out these in these places to find those beautiful people. So their presence can make a significant difference in our personal and even professional lives. There is a very popular sutta called Sigalovada Sutta. Have you heard? Sigalovada Sutta is also called Gihi Vinaya. It's basically good for the lay people. So there are some outlines of the friends, bad friends, pretending to be friends, like what you call fake friends, and also good friends. And over here, good friends protect us when we are vulnerable, and good friends help us when we are in trouble, and good friends share their wealth with us. When you need some help, they help us. They don't like cite some lame excuses. Oh, you should have asked me yesterday, or last month I had some money, I could help you. Or right now I can do it. They won't do it like that. And they offer us wise counsel also. This is also really important. They stand by us in difficult times. These are the good friends. These are the Sappurisa friends. So by seeking out and cultivating relationship with Kalyanamitas, we ensure that our journey through life is enriched with wisdom, compassion, and mutual support. So let's strive to be good friends to others and also seek out those who uplift and inspire us. That's the idea. And and also, I would like to talk about the significance of living alone in Buddhism, uh, especially when one cannot find good companionship. Have you heard the word Muni? Muni. What does it mean?
Sage.
Yes, sage. Also, Muni means silent, silent one. So the Buddha also really appreciates noble silence. Whenever he used to go to other hermitages, other ascetic friends, their monasteries, and whenever the Buddha would go there, those ascetic friends, they said, "Oh, the Buddha is coming today." So he really appreciates noble silence. So today we have to be extremely careful to maintain silence. So that's um, so there are. I remember like in Mahanidesa there were six munis: Agara Muni, um, mm, Seka Muni, Aseka Muni, and even lay person who practices virtuous life can be a Muni. And Seka means the Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhanta, Magga, Phala, and except the last one. That is the Aseka Muni. Then we have Samma Sambuddha Muni, Pacheka Buddha Muni, and Arahanta Muni. Also, there are different kinds of munis. In There is another beautiful sutta called Kagga Visana Sutta. Have you heard Kagga Visana Sutta in Sutta Nipada? You need to read that sutta. The Buddha uses the metaphor of a one-horned rhinoceros to illustrate the strength and resilience required to live alone. You know how powerful and strong is this rhinoceros. He can survive, he can withstand the attack even by a pack of lions, right? So when you are living alone, that means you also have to be stronger within. You need to withstand the attack of many maras, Many packs of lions can be there. You need to be stronger within. Be confident in that. That's important. So we have to develop the inner strength to live independently and maintain our spiritual practice without the influence of negative companions. Um, so this idea is reflected in Buddhism, as I mentioned, Muni. That's very, very important. When you say Muni, it is the self investigation and introspection. And that is more helpful and free from external distractions and harmful influences. We also need to have that me time, right? We all need that me time. So many a time we find like people when they are alone, they actually don't really execute that me time. If you are with the phone or with the other technology thing, then probably you don't see that me time. Maybe you need to talk to yourself, that monologue, that soliloquy, talking with yourself or investigating yourself, go deep into yourself is what we call here Muni practice, solitude. That becomes a bliss of solitude when you practice it properly. All right, so okay. We'll go to the other stanzas. The other stanza is the fool is troubled by thoughts of having sons and wealth, yet he doesn't even have control over himself. So, how can he truly possess his sons and wealth? So, Putta matti danang matti iti balo vihanyati. Atta hi attano nati kuto putta kuto dhanam. So some people say, I have sons, I have money, I have this and that. And then they think they can control, but they really can't control even themselves. So, how do we really depend on others? How do we really say we truly possess sons and wealth? So, this verse from Dhammapada also emphasizes the illusion of possession and control that afflicts those who are ignorant or fools. Okay. So this verse talks about the obsession of sons and wealth. In many cultures, having a family and accumulating wealth are considered measures of success and security. But this attachment to external possessions is seen as a source of affliction. The more you are attached to something or someone, the more you are vulnerable to suffer, right? That is the problem. So we need to see that false sense of security actually. Fool believes that having sons and wealth provides security and happiness. But does it provide security and happiness? It could boomerang sometimes, right? However, this also suggests that this is a belief and it is misguided. True security and peace come from inner mastery and understanding, not from external possessions that are impermanent and subject to change. Even the children, right? The wealth and the power and the name and the fame, are they permanent? No, they are impermanent. They change, lot of fluctuations all the time. So Buddhist teaching of non-attachment um, and also is this stanza talks about that reflection on priorities. What should be our priority? The next gatha, a fool who recognizes his own foolishness has a chance to become wise. So, but a fool who believes he is wise is truly a fool. So, yeah, this is why I also said at the beginning, like how important it is to recognize our mistake, our loophole, our gray area, our downfall. That can really help us to become wise. If you know that, okay, I'm in the wrong path, I have a wrong notion, I have a mistake, I'm not doing the right thing, then there is a possibility that from that point onward we can come out of this. We can maybe go for a support, right? Yeah, ask someone to guide us. But some people are there, they are strongly convinced that they are doing the right thing, they don't want to listen to others, then you can be helped. So, according to this, they are truly fools, right? So, it's very important, like we have that flexibility. So, self awareness as a path to wisdom. Um, this recognizes one's foolishness is a crucial step towards wisdom. And then danger of delusion, again another thing. That second line, it contrasts with the fool who believes he is wise. So this false belief is rooted in what? Arrogance, mana, and avijja, ignorance. So such a person is closed off to learning and self-improvement because they are convinced of their own superiority. So they are not ready, they are not open, they are not flexible to learn. That can be a deadly block. That can be really a delusion that solidifies their foolishness and prevents them from gaining true wisdom. So, Buddhist emphasis on humility is a really, really important teaching. Humility is an amazing practice. You see, the monks are trained to become humble. They are trained to become simple. That way, they can really fight it out. Their ego and ignorance. And you see, like even the Buddhist community, why do you sit on the floor? That's part of your humility, right? Part of your humility. And when you become simple, when you lead a simple lifestyle, minimalistic lifestyle, it helps you to become humble and simple. I remember one time when Ananda was talking about the that humility, the simile of doormat. Everyone steps on doormat. Every person steps on doormat, and you become a doormat. You yourself become a doormat. That's amazing. Like you cut your ego. That mana is something that you can get rid of completely until you become arahanta, right? Ruparaga, aruparaga, mana, uddhacha, avidya. So mana will be there until you become arahanta. But it doesn't mean you have to wait. You have to slowly and steadily cut off that. So that the paradox of wisdom, this paradoxical wisdom element in this verse is really, really important. True wisdom begins with the recognition of one's own lack of wisdom. So here it emphasizes a deeper understanding that comes from self awareness and humility. And then also encouragement for self reflection, as we always do practice. Look into ourselves, look into our own breath and our own body scanning, our own reading of the mind, Vedana Anupassana, Kaya Anupassana, Chitta Anupassana, Dhamma Anupassana, they are all ways of looking into ourselves, self reflection. Then this also is a really powerful teaching for our self, like personal growth. Okay, so let's go to the next stanza. So, a fool can spend his entire life with a wise person. Okay, this is another interesting one. So, yet still not learn the teaching of the Dhamma. Lifetime you stay with a wise person, you don't learn anything. There is a beautiful metaphor here, a simile, just like a spoon that never tastes the curry it holds. The spoon always, stir the curry, but spoon can taste the curry. Never. Just like that, sometime you might be having really wonderful, wise people around you. You might be living with them, and there can be someone who has that deadlock that you do not have access to their wisdom because of your ignorance and your ego. There are some people like that. Yeah, there could be some people among us too. So we ourselves have to think of it. I want to learn. I want to be humble, and I want to be flexible. I want to be open heart. That way I can learn from wonderful, wise people around us. Okay, so this um, I think I'll go to the other one. Also, it is the other way around. If a smart person spends even a brief time with a wise person, he quickly learns the Dhamma, just as the tongue immediately tastes the curry. You see, as compared to the spoon, which doesn't taste the curry, but the tongue immediately tastes the curry. Just like that, we have to be smart, we have to be skillful in finding the right person, the wise person, and learn their wisdom. That is the idea here. So fools who lacks intelligence become their own worst enemies by committing evil deeds, which brings about bitter consequences. Okay, so these verses actually contrast the outcomes of associating with wisdom versus living in ignorance. So the two ideas here, the effectiveness of learning in the presence of wisdom and the self-destructive nature of foolish behavior. So think of the power of intelligent association and think of the effectiveness of wisdom transmission and think of the self-destructive nature of wisdom. It could be an inward enemy. Moral and ethical implications. The teaching underscores the importance of moral and ethical conduct by highlighting the bitter consequences of evil deeds. It serves as a warning against such behavior. It encourages individuals to seek wisdom and engage in rigorous action or righteous actions to avoid the pitfalls of foolishness. Okay, one more thing is the encouragement of self improvement really helps us because um, we recognize our mistake, then it helps us to recognize, to identify the skillful um, teachings. Over here, when you also spend some time, you can also find some wise people. You know, there could be even children, maybe wiser than you. You can learn from them as young people, old people, monks. When you are with them, you can learn. You can use some time, like in the monk chat. The tea time chat. They can be helpful for you to learn some wisdom from them. The next two stanzas, um, a deed is not well done if after doing it one feels regret, with tears streaming down as the consequences follow. This is really interesting also. A deed is well done if after doing it one feels no regret and is happy and content as the consequences follow. This is also actually a very popular stanza, these two. Um, Natang kammang katang sadhu yang katva anutappati yassa asu muko rodang vipakang patisevati. Tancha kammang katang sadhu yang katva nanutappati yassa patito sumano vipakang patisevati. So here the Buddha talks about how important it is for us to reflect in retrospection, in looking back into ourselves. If we can think, I did the right thing, I took the right decision, I said the right thing, then you feel better. You don't feel regretting. You don't feel guilty conscious. The tears will not come to you because of that. You will be a happy person. And if you feel like you have like such guilt or such feeling of remorse, remember uddacha and kukkucha, restlessness and remorse can also be a great hindrance in achieving jhana even. So we have to take care of these things, and we need to rather substitute that with the deed well done. After doing it, you don't feel any regret. You feel happy and content, and such is the consequences that we need to think of when we do some good activities. So this verse from Dhammapada also emphasizes the ethical and psychological implications of our actions, highlighting the significance of remorse and contentment as indicators of whether a deed is well done. I would say in among the jhanic, among the five hindrances, um, uddhacha kukkucha, vichikicha, that will be something really happening here, especially uddhacha kukkucha. And then in the jhanic factors, we have what do you call piti and sukha, right? You have piti and sukha when you don't have uddhacha and kukkucha. Really important point here when we don't regret. Yeah, when you have regret, it's a sign of misconduct, right? Sign of misconduct. So the consequences of actions. Then the contentment is a sign of righteous deed, doing the right thing. So when you feel some guilt or when you feel some remorse, you need to go self-investigate into that and recognize that. Go deep into the root of that suffering. So this also these two stanzas are also moral and ethical guidance to us, and alignment with the Buddha's teachings. It encourages us to um, continuously follow the ethical conduct. Okay, next stanza. Okay, really interesting too. Madhua manyati balo yava papang na pachati yada cha pachati papang athabalo dukkhang nigachati. Sometimes when you do wrong things, people feel happy, right? People feel jolly good. They are doing wrong things with a happy mind, but actually it is short term. It's not long term. So the fool considers it sweet as long as the consequences of the evil deed haven't come about. But when the consequences of the evil action manifest, the fool then experiences suffering. There is a beautiful simile. I remember there was a poem in Sri Lanka, what we call Lo Ada Sangara. There are beautiful moral teaching. In that, it says, just like the what do you call crab, right? When you put the crab on the water and then you boil it. So at the beginning, the water is cool, so the crab is happy. Even the other one is called what do you call prawn?
Frog, prawn,
Prawn, right?
shrimp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shrimp, prawn, crab, whatever.
Shrimp.
When you put them on the water, they are happy. The water is cool, and it's only for a short time. And when the water starts to boil, you're suffering there. So similarly, the foolish people sometimes they feel happy in doing something. Sometimes all the wrong people also come and help you. When you do good things, only few people come support you. There will be more discouragement probably for you, but continue to do good, because when you even if you have so much support, so much fan base, while doing the wrong thing, you know you might suffer later on. This verse from Dhammapada encapsulates a significant psychological and ethical principle concerning the nature of actions and their consequences, so particularly highlighting the delusion and eventual suffering associated with the wrongful action. Over here, short term gratification versus long term consequences. That is highlighted. And then the ripening of actions, when the karma gives you the result, you start to suffer. So that inevitability of suffering. Um, it's a psychological insight here, actually, um, into human behavior, particularly the ways in which individuals can be blinded by immediate desires or benefits, failing to consider the broader implications of their action. It happens to us, right? A lot of people like easy money, or those things are little comfortable at the beginning. So, moral and ethical guidance in this stanza, again, very important. Encouragement for self-reflective practice. Even when we select a profession, we need to think: are we selecting the right samma ajiva, right livelihood? Very important. Okay, let's go to the next stanza. Um, Even if a fool eats his food month by month, using just the tip of a blade of grass, he cannot compare even slightly to those who have truly understood the teachings of the Dhamma. So, this um, this gatha talks about the um, eating with a grass blade. That symbolism is there. And over here, this gatha presents a stark comparison between the superficial austerity of a fool and the profound spiritual attainment of those who have genuinely mastered the teachings of the Dhamma. Um, so, true value in spiritual understanding, the limitations of superficial practices, and the value of mastery over Dhamma, and the quantitative undervaluation of the fool's efforts. And again, like in other gathas, encouragement towards genuine practice. They are some of the points that emphasize here in this gatha. So it critically evaluates the shallow performative aspects of spiritual practice. Okay, next one. Okay, an evil deed does not immediately show its consequences. Just like milk doesn't curdle right away, right? If you want to get the curd, it takes a while. Just like that, sometimes today everyone wants like shortcuts, right? Shortcuts to success, but there are no shortcuts to success. You need immediate results. Even people, when they want to meditate, they want immediate results. Like, I want to get jhana, I want to attain this and that. It doesn't happen. So we need to actually create conditions for that. We need to also be patient. If we can, if we expect what happened, it goes away, right? If you expect the light, or if you expect the counterpart sign, it will actually go far away from you. So in here we talk about like the dispassion, how to let go and not to really um, grab things and aspire things. So over here, an evil deed is not immediately show its consequences, like the milk doesn't curdle right away, but it persists if it persistently follow the fool, burning him like a smoldering coal fire hidden under ashes. So you can't even see that underneath the ash there is burning coal that might burn you within. It will take longer time, and it will be so toxic, and you will be destroyed slowly and slowly. So this Dhammapada stanza uses a vivid metaphor to illustrate the delayed but inevitable consequences of committing evil deeds. It explores the dynamics of karma and the latent dangers of wrongful actions. Even in Dhammapada, first stanza, if you remember, the Manopabhangama Dhamma, right? There also we find that the wrongful action can lead to wrongful results. So even though the result of evil actions are delayed, but it will be there. Sometimes people say, you see, like doing wrong things, sometimes okay, like even they try to see, oh, Devadatta didn't have any problem. Devadatta was strong, healthy, and nothing happened to him. But they don't see actually the end result of Devadatta. What happened to him at the end, right? He went into um, um, the lower realms, and he had to suffer much longer than he was enjoying doing those wrong things. So the metaphor of the coal fire here is an analogy that serves to illustrate the deceptive nature of evil deeds. Sometimes the those are very tempted. What do you call? They are temptation,
Tempting.
tempting. They are tempting us to do wrong things. It's easier. You get a lot of friends, you get a lot of money, you get a lot of fame. All things are there when you do wrong things. It's so hard and so discouraging to do the right thing, like practicing meditation or cultivating good things, wholesome things. Yeah, a lot of things will happen to you. A lot of disturbances will happen. Have you noticed that?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, when you do good things, um, you have a lot of discouragement. Even like personally, your health can be at risk. That can happen, but you continue to do that. You have to be persistent. You have to be determined and confident of your moral or virtuous act. So, moral and ethical implications and encouragement of virtuous living are emphasized in this Gatha. Yeah, almost done. Next one, a skill required by a fool only leads to his detriment. it erodes his good fortune, and ultimately it will lead to his ruin. So, this verse from Dhammapada was again a profound reflection on the dangers of knowledge or skills in the hands of those lacking wisdom or ethical discernment. Um, so, the negative impacts or misused abilities can be of detrimental um, impact on our life. And so, here in this gatha, misuses of skills and knowledge, and destruction of good fortune, and the ultimate ruin, and responsibility and capability, and ethical implications are emphasized. Um, Sometimes you see, like, maybe those gangsters, maybe some people who are doing something wrong, and they can have a lot of people around, lot of money, lot of power, and all these things, and suddenly, you know, there are fightings among themselves. You might be, it might cost even your life, and eventually, finding nothing for you. You will be just losing everything. Although you think you are a powerful person, there is no no invincible power like that. We saw during the pandemic, for example, right? Some people were like invincible, they thought. But pandemic taught us a wonderful lesson. No one is invincible. All those powerful people were also impacted. The COVID virus infiltrated everywhere. All those security um, gates were um, wide open for the COVID virus. Just like that, the karma is just like that. We really can't have a shield for that. So ultimately, it can be a ruin for us. So we have to be extremely careful. Again, this gatha encourages us to have that ethical implication, and continue to be good people. Now, there is another gatha here. It really helps mostly the monks. It says, a monk consumed by vanity seeks admiration and authority among other monks, desires control over monastic settings, and and craves respect from reputable families. That can be a good sign that you are in the wrong side. We need to be extremely careful about this. Authority, name and fame, and the power politics, all can happen to monks also. So we have to be extremely careful about that. Sometimes, like from reputable people, families, you have connection, you have contacts, you have like very powerful person, very popular person, respected by everyone because of the title, not otherwise. If you don't have title, they don't respect you. They don't come closer to you because of that. You have, so this can be a deadly, um, dangerous um, harm. It can be a deadly, dangerous thing for you. So he wants both lay people and fellow monks to acknowledge his contributions, to see his influence in all their actions, whether something is done or left undone. Such thoughts only increase a fool's desire and ego. It will only build up our ego. So we have to be extremely careful. On the other hand, a wise monk understands that the pursuit of material or social gains is vastly different from the path of enlightenment. Anyahi labhupanisa Anya Nibbana Gamini. So the path seeking for wealth is material prosperity is completely a different path. Anya Nibbana Gamini, path towards the Nibbana is a completely different thing. Yeah. So this definitely is a strong advice, admonishment to among a strong reminder to monks who practice. With this knowledge, a follower of the Buddha avoids delighting in worldly recognition and focuses on fostering solitude and inner growth. Very, very helpful to all of us. So, in this Gatha, some vanity of and spiritual stagnation, consequences of egoistic desire, and contrasting paths of material gain and spiritual liberation, and practice of solitude, and also guidance of for monastic discipline and universal relevance. I explained. So, in summary, these verses from the Dhammapada highlights the spiritual peril associated with the pursuit of recognition and control, especially for those in religious life. They emphasize the importance of recognizing the distinct path to worldly success and spiritual enlightenment, advocating for a focus on solitude and the internal pursuit of liberation from attachment and ego. Okay, so these are um, the teachings of this wonderful chapter called Balavagga. I hope at least some of these things hit you right into your heart, ring the bell, alarm, warning signs for your own spiritual path. It could be really helpful, enlightening to us to see the power of moral discipline, ethical considerations, and also practice of solitude and recognizing our own mistakes, right? All these things can be very, very helpful. Although it is called Balavag the Fools, it can really enlighten us. It can really make us wise people. So next time it is the Pandita Vagga, the wise um, chapter. I don't know if I'm here to teach that. Hopefully, we can continue to teach this Dhammapada in the future. So, with that, I would like to conclude. If you have any questions, we can, of course, try to answer. And with that, I conclude. May you all be well, happy, healthy. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And Bhante, we have some questions from online. We have many greetings, and then we have a question here. If we find a friend who is wise, should we approach and attach to them and try to learn from them as much as possible?
Um, if we find a friend who is wise, should we approach and attach to them and try to learn from them as much as possible? Yeah, if you find a person who is wise, we should learn. Remember, the wisdom again should be related to Dhamma, right? We need to know, like, there could be very, very smart people, but you need to know, like, are they really um, capable teachers? It could be even a younger person to you. It doesn't really matter. And you should learn from them as much as possible, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, and they also ask if there's already some attachment to a wise friend, it's painful to think about leaving. how to cope with detaching.
Yeah, that again is a problem. So we need to know like the difference between that attachment and positive connection, right? So positively, you can be connected to wonderful friends, wonderful people, teachers, elders. That's okay. But there should be a time for you to leave. You need to know that. I really like the idea, like here in Empty Cloud, for example, people come here to stay, like even monks, you know. We come here, like stay here maybe a month or two, and then people also, like lay people come here, like week or two, and then go away. Like you kind of build up that bond, sometime in an attachment, and sometimes I see some people like crying when they leave. So that um, that should not be a hindrance to us. We learn that our life is just like this. This is a temporary stay. We came here to this life to live a very short time. So we might have like loved ones, parents, siblings, children, family, friends, relatives, and then even pets. um, you have some also the other name and fame, and also like material prosperities. You think, oh, this is me, me, myself, mine. But you see how suffering it becomes, when you lose it. You need to know that.
And also, Bante, someone else asks that they heard that the Buddha sometimes criticized the practice of being too silent and encouraged discussion on Dhamma and friendly, supportive speech.
Yeah, again here we talked about the Buddha actually talked about the noble silence and practice isolation. It was very helpful for many, and it could not hinder your teaching or your sharing wisdom. You can practice and you can share your wisdom. That also is part of your generosity, loving kindness, compassion, right? That I think is a part of us. The monks always do that. Other people also should do that. It's not completely absolutely silent and doing nothing. Buddha also was teaching. He had only like 2 hours to sleep. Most of the time he was teaching others, he was helping others, and he asked the monks to go forward and find people who are in need of your help. He always emphasized the importance of helping others. That's really part of life too.
Okay, and Bante, they also made some comments about harsh speech,
Hmm.
and they ask, perhaps it would be less harsh to say a foolish person or a person acting foolishly rather than a fool. I think they're acting about, is it harsh to call people fools or to, you know,
Yeah, you don't have to say that. Why do you want to like judge like that? But like if that person um, um, has some issue, then you don't have to actually even criticize that person. You recognize, and then maybe if that wavelength is not matching you, maybe you can safely you know distance yourself. Doesn't mean you have to be like provocative or fight with that person or argue. No, nothing like that. Like you are not a match, so you simply go away. It's better. Not making enemy, not even like judging that person as a fool like that. It's not like that. Yeah.
okay, thank you, Bante. And Lily asks, how do delusional people realize their own delusions?
Yeah, that you continue to actually reflect. Very difficult, as I mentioned, like um, those things will disappear. Those massive structures, the foolishness will always be there with you. Sometimes you need to know, like, even your name and fame and all those things, how you become a fool, you know, and you are like manifested by them. You are being fooled by them, or you have a lot of fans, you are a leader, you're a you know, like, you need to have this and that. All this can be actually a deadlock. You need to continuously reflect, is it really doing me good? Doing my practice good? You need to match with the dharma and also maybe the karma. Yeah, match with your dharma and the karma. Hopefully that can help you, and continue to have that association with wise teachers, wise friends, who can actually honestly tell you um, if you are in the right path. That I think is very helpful.
Hmm. And Lily also asks, what to do during the meditation that we can realize our own delusions?
Um, okay, so what to do during the meditation? So when you meditate, um, you what you need to do is you need to cope up with those hindrances, the defilements. Like, when you do that, you know, you recognize your delusions. For example, um, kama chanda, sensual lust. When you meditate, powerful temptations can occur to you. And in your meditation also, you might be roaming around and you might be dreaming about these temptations without knowing that you are actually meditating. You might be having a long journey with these emotions in the meditation. And so you need to know that's your delusion. That's not meditation. That's your delusion, right? Sometimes people, even like when they meditate, they probably look down upon others, those people who don't meditate. I am the one practicing. They are not even practicing. So you are building your ego. That could be your delusion. You have to, we have to figure out, you have to check, self investigate if these things are actually cleansing your mind or further, further polluting your mind. You can do it actually. The more you become calm and the more you are working on your hindrances and the jhanic factors, you really can do that. Like sensual lust, and then ill will. Ill will, do I have any speck of dust? Ill will, anger, hatred, anything. When you say something, did I hurt that person? You have to self investigate. Even later, you have to retrospectively look into that. Did I do the right thing? Did I hurt that person? And later, if you felt so, it's okay to go and, I'm sorry. If I said something to hurt you, you can say that. Be honest, sincere. They will be happy that you accepted it. And so there will be like endless things for you to think of, those little minor mistakes that might occur to us, each and every one of us. When you are in more self reflective, meditative mode, these things are much more clear to you. Or else, if you are having a very busy life, or you don't have time to meditate and don't have time to reflect, self investigate, then probably most of these things will be not known to you. So you unconsciously build so much delusions.
Thank you, Bhante. Then it looks like we have one more. How to know when is the proper time to leave the wise friends?
To leave the wise friends, when you realize the Dhamma, you don't even have to leave them. You still can have the company. Like Sariputta Moggallana, they were like together. Maybe the right time to leave was their death. Until their Nibbana, they were together. Wonderful, wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends. They were always helping each other. I remember there was a case where I think Venerable Sariputta's or Venerable Moggallana's former mother, who was in a lower realm, and then I think it was Venerable Moggallana who was helping arrange a dana. Uh, See, they were already arhants, but still they were helping each other. If you find someone who is wiser, who is smarter, who is skillful in Dhamma, I would say don't leave them. Stay in touch with them. Get closer to them. Learn from them. That will be so wonderful.
Okay, and that's all the questions online, Bhante.
All right. Okay, so with that, we conclude today's session. Do you have any question? All right. So thank you so much for joining us today with this wonderful Dhammapada session on Balavagga and the fools. I hope this teaching can help us, remind us to learn our own foolishness, our own traits of foolishness. And so it's not to judge, but you can judge yourself. you know, I have this problem. It's okay to judge and recognize your own mistake, your own loophole, your own weak area. That is perfectly all right. And hopefully, these things, if we have something, we need to work out on these things. Recognizing is the first step, and then it's up to us to do some corrective measures. I hope and I wish you all to become wonderful, wonderful, wise people, and may you all be full of wisdom, and may you always be associated with wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends throughout your life and all throughout your samsara until you attain the final liberation. May you all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you all. May all your departed ones also receive the merit that we have accrued today and before. May they all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May all of us and all of them and all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahmas, and also the other sentient beings in the lower realms, be well, happy, healthy, safe. May we all be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Thank you.
We make an announcement, Bhante.
Yeah,
A brief announcement about Asala Puja coming up this weekend.
sure.
On Sunday, we'll be observing it here
Okay.
at D Cloud, beginning with. We'll have Min. You'd ask if you'd be willing to summarize. I'm not sure if the microphone will pick me up from this distance, but
You can
begin
talk.
with the meal offering at 11 o'clock.
You can talk.
Okay.
Come here and talk. You want to come here?
Beginning with the meal offering at 11 o'clock. And so if people would like to participate in the meal offering, then please come around 10:30 or maybe a little bit earlier. And then there'll be a program starting at 11 and going into the afternoon. For anyone who'd like to partake in Asala Puja, which is the celebration of the Buddha's first sermon, when he delivered his first sermon, the Dhammacakkappavattana, about the Four Noble Truths on the full moon of Asala, according to the ancient Indian calendar, which we're going to be observing on Sunday here at Empty Cloud. So it's open to the public, and welcome everyone to come and partake of that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so Sunday is a special Sunday this time. You can have some special event to mark the Asal full moon day. That actually is the full moon day that the Buddha preached the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. And also the monks would observe the Vassa, rains retreat. It's already raining here outside. Yes, okay. So looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. And also Saturday we have the regular meditation. Sunday also we have the meditation, right?
Yes, we're working out the schedule, how the Sala Puja will influence the schedule for the afternoon. We'll have meditation, I'll talk probably in the afternoon, so somewhat similar to usual.
Okay, wonderful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.